Hey there Virgo, welcome back to my channel. If you enjoy my readings, please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as leave me a comment and let me know if this reading resonates. Alright, so tonight I went ahead and pulled the cards ahead of time just to kind of speed things along a hair. So let's take a look at your first card. So today we're using the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And the card that goes with your first reading is we've got the Sacrifice, as well as Toxic Patterns for your relationship or love card. And alright, so this particular card is the card that's in the South, and it represents what you need to let go off or what needs to be shed. It is an old wound that no longer needs to define you. Alright, so the Sacrifice. It says, to sacrifice means to make sacred. The sacrifice is an offering of gratitude made from the heart, the feast of love prepared for the spirit. In the olden days, sacrifices sometimes involved rituals in which the blood was offered to the gods. For example, in the Bible, Yahweh preferred Abel's sacrifice of one of his lambs to Cain's offering of the vegetables and fruits. In Middle America, however, Quetzalcoatl, the Lord of the Dawn, came to teach the spirit-preferred songs and prayers to the blood of humans or animals. Alright, and the invitation says, the sacrifice asks you to offer the spirit which is most precious to you. Your offering will be sanctified and returned tenfold. You will be elevated to the altar at which you have been praying, and you meet the divine at the table with the heavenly feast. You are a welcome guest at this banquet. Your heart is the only worthy offering that you can bring. Life has been generous with you in so many ways. Okay, and so this is something that you need to let go of. Let go off. And so you may be sacrificing yourself for the wrong reasons. If this is, something that needs to be shed, the old wound that no longer needs to be defining you. Alright, and it goes with this Toxic Patterns card. Alright, so if you've seen my other videos, you may have heard me talk about narcissistic patterns and the catalyst or the hate or the stonewalling. Sometimes trauma bonding or abandonment issues can cause these type of toxic patterns to control us. And this is also something that we need to let go of. But first we have to find out what it is. Alright, so the Circle is your next card. And this is a really beautiful card. And it says, so this is the card that's in the West, and it represents a part of you that needs to die. And it is an old story that needs to be let go of, or you may find a new, meaningful story for your life. You have to let go of the old in order to let the new in. Alright, so the essence, unification, interconnectedness, and a sense of continuum is what this card implies. The Circle reminds us that we are all one, dancers in the unified, continuous, inclusive circle. This card reminds us of the cycle of life. And see, if we let go of these old patterns, it makes room for new, more positive patterns. Alright, so it says, This card reminds us of the old cycles of life and the evolving self, ever changing and always connected. Human spirit, nature, and the cosmos, all intrinsically connected. All right, and the invitation says, when the circle appears, it reminds you that you are connected to everything and everyone, including to spirit. Spirit's essence beats in your heart and inspires you to co-create your world, knowing that you count, that you have purpose in this world. Imagine even a smile to a stranger can change the course of a life. When the circle invites you to dance in the sacred steps of life, know that your work, your love, and your service brings greater value than you can know. Stay the course, keep dancing, and all will be well. All right, so that's a really beautiful card, and the card that goes with it is the Goddess, which is the mystic or the otherworldly, a very serene lady, sultry even, and a truth seeker. All right, so this circle of friends that you might be looking for, you might be looking towards the mystics. If you're here, you probably are. Okay. All right, so number 41 is the Rainbow. Love this card. It's so beautiful. All right, and the Rainbow is number 41. Let me take a look. Alright, so I put my filter on, so that's what keeps flying all over the screen in case you were wondering. Alright, number 3. The card in the north represents the wisdom that you need to acquire. You have learned the lessons from the south and the west, and the wisdom is ready to mature. Well, I'm sorry, it's a question here. What wisdom is ready to mature within you? What is your great medicine that you are ready to embrace? What are the deeply buried treasures that have become available to you? All right, so the essence is the rainbow symbolizes the 7 steps of true spiritual path, which manifest as the colors of the 7 chakras. In the Himalayas, the rainbow body is seen as the full realization of our essence. The rainbow also represents the bridge between the physical and the spiritual world. At the end of our lives, we can journey across the rainbow bridge to the highest heavenly realms. When the rainbow appears, it is an affirmation that all is well and that you are in the right relationship with the Spirit. The invitation. The rainbow tells you that the end of the storm is near. Persevere and remember that it is the darkest just before dawn. Do not give up hope. Things are about to take a positive turn. Listen for the morning rooster that announces the coming of the dawn, even while the night is still darkest. But do not claim victory yet or let your guard down fully. Alright, so this is a beautiful depiction here of a bird that is flying through the rainbow. I'm loving this reading. It's very good. Alright, so and it's kind of funny because this is not really talking about like LGBT rainbow type of thing, but the lover's card that goes with it is sexual or gender minorities. People don't know how to act when they're in new situations. Some examples of that are like culture shock when you're moving from one place to another. So the minority situation with gender and sexuality, people don't know how to accept things that they don't understand. If they can't understand how that would feel for them, then they cannot relate. But, this card here about this rainbow is just so beautiful. And, it does talk about the end of the storm is near, all right? So sometimes whenever you get into a new environment with new people, and, especially if you're a minority, it can cause a lot of issues. And it can make you feel very out of place if you don't fit into your new environment. But don't worry, because, this advice here to listen for, just wait for the storm to come to end. The rainbow is right there. It's telling you to persevere. All right. So if you're experiencing this, or if you have in the past, and you feel like there's not anyone out there, you do have a circle. All right. You do have people that understand you. They are out there. Sometimes you just have to look a little farther, okay? All right, so the spiral is your final card, and that one is the card in the east. It represents the possible destiny, the way that you will share your treasures and gifts with others. All right? So let's take a look here at number 50. The essence. From galaxies in the sky to diminutive shells at the beach, the spiral is found exclusively in nature, in the natural world. Its shape in the form of a coiled serpent has been used since the ancient times as a tool for growth and transformation. The spiral is a guide for entering deep into one's consciousness and the unknown, and then extending far out into the heavens. It's crucial to surrender to this journey until the exalted paradigm dissolves in the depths of the psyche, and its energy is released to give birth to a new reality. The invitation. To renew yourself, you must shed your old skin. You have already done this, so do not keep scraping away at the old, but welcome the soft new skin that is starting to grow. Break the habit of working on your faults all the time, and let nature take its course. Know that a new skin feels vulnerable and scary at times, but trust that the medicine of the spirit of the spiral as it guides your journey for renewal. All right, and I'm digging this so much that I think I'm going to go ahead and read the medicine, which is the reversed section of this one. All right, it says, the spiral announces a descent to the depths and rebirth. Allow nothing to get in the way of this process. As the time is right and the forces of nature are supporting you in this endeavor, using stones, twigs, yarn, build a spiral on the ground that is large enough to walk through, with at least 3 turns. Enter the spiral slowly, and once you're in the center, offer to the earth the feelings or situations that you no longer want in your life. As you walk back the way that you entered, feel recharged for your new journey. All right, and the card that goes with this in your love card is the bouquet, or love in bloom. All right, so this has to do with appreciation and new love, and basically it's just like the first step in a new relationship. And to me, this card means, to maybe be a little bit old-fashioned sometimes and try to really, get to know who you're falling in love with. And even if you're in a relationship already, it's okay to, go back to the basics every now and then and, go out on a date like it was your first date. Maybe go to a concert or do something that you haven't done in a long time. Alright, so I hope this reading resonates with you. Let me go ahead and pull just one narcissist card, even though I don't even feel like we need it right here. But I did promise narcissist readings at the end of the month, so we'll throw a couple cards in there for you. Okay. Radical acceptance. Alright, so when you have a narcissist in your life who is maybe spiraling out of control, it says radical acceptance will give you two options. The first option is just that, accepting. Radical acceptance is accepting the person as they are, realizing that they will never change. Alright, this pulls the plug on any hope that you might have had. A realization that people don't always change. Accepts the leopard can't change their spots. Or what if you can't accept it? This is path number 2. It does not accept the radical acceptance. Everyone can change. Alright? So sometimes when you take this path where you just accept it and you deal with the toxic behavior, grieving a career or grieving a job or even grieving a marriage, you get these, guilt, shame, fear, or even like a wash, rinse, repeat type of cycle. Okay, so you don't want to stay in denial. And, so the only thing that you can do is just stop justifying the behavior and regurgitating past problems. Alright? So basically, radical acceptance means that you have given up hope. Alright? But I feel like both of these are extreme. Because radical acceptance pulls the plug on hope. There's no more hope there. You don't have hope for the future of this person. And then the opposite, to just radically accept that, that they are going to change. That too is a little bit over the top. I think it's more realistic to think that, things like this happen just like a hurricane, just like a storm. It comes in like a wave, and you just have to weather the storm whenever it comes to, especially if it has to do with like addiction or drug abuse or any kind of abuse like that. The person themselves, they have to make the decision to change, and you can't make them. You can't make them change, and there's nothing that you can say or do that will force them into changing. But the best that we can do is just try to be there for them if you love them, and try to help them to overcome their hurdles, especially if it has to do with drugs or addiction, that this spiral continues. Alright, well, let's pull one more narcissist card, just in case that one doesn't quite resonate with you. Alright. The unapologetic. I'm sorry, what more do you want from me? Okay. Alright, so this kind of reminds me of like the relationship that you have with your parents when you're a teenager. You're never going to apologize, and they're the parents, so they're never going to apologize. And I feel like sometimes this sets us up for failure from a young age. Okay, so apologies are very important. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. What matters is that you get that weight off of your chest. And it has, for the parent and the child, or any type of relationship, it doesn't matter if it's a lover's quarrel, or if it's your son, daughter, niece, nephew, uncle, whoever it is. It's important to apologize and let things go. Alright, so I hope this reading resonates with you. If it does, please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as come back and see me next week.